How's it going, everyone? My name is Derek Afasi. I'm the owner of Afasi Financial Group. In today's topic, I want to discuss with you what are the best Medicare supplement plans that someone could get, or and kind of break down what does Medicare cover, what does it not cover, and then how you could leverage a Medicare supplement plan to fill those gaps properly, and then how to save hundreds of thousands of dollars through your lifetime in the process, understanding how one company works or how one plan works as opposed to the other. So at any point in time, you could reference your Medicare and You guide that you could basically request from Medicare.gov, or also the Medigap plans for 2016. I'm filming this video in 2016, so it's going to pertain to this year, but everything's going to be pretty relative for the future years as well. So if you're reviewing this in 2017, 2018, I'm going to make modifications per video. But essentially what happens is an individual turns age 65, and then they're eligible for a type of health insurance known as Medicare. So you have Medicare Part A, which covers hospital type plans, or hospital known as inpatient hospital insurance, and then you have Medicare Part B, which would cover your outpatient, meaning like your doctors. So if you think of Part A hospital, Part B as doctors, individuals mistakenly go into age 65, say, oh great, I have this amazing Medicare benefit, everything's covered, and as long as I'm paying for my Part B, there should not be a problem. And that's where the mistake is made, because with Medicare, there are many, many gaps with regular Medicare insurance. Well, therefore, you could utilize something known as a Medicare supplement plan that's set up through private insurance companies to help fill in those gaps. Now, you're going to see the words, or maybe hear the words, deductibles, coinsurance, and co-payments. So what exactly those mean is you have the deductibles. Deductible has to be met before the actual insurance kicks in. So if you have a hospital Part A part of Medicare, we'll understand that there's going to be a significant deductible there, meaning that the deductible has to be met depending upon whatever that service is of just regular original Medicare. You also have certain types of co-payments that could be set up through the doctor visits, through regular Medicare Part B, or co-insurance that would kick in of saying like 80-20, meaning that 80% is covered of a certain expense or certain service, meaning that if you had $1 million of you racked up in bills, well, yes, Medicare might cover $800,000 of that, but that still means that you're footing the bill for an extra $200,000. So what happens is someone would get set up into a Medicare supplement plan for that peace of mind. They're saying, all right, I'm placing money aside, I'm paying an insurance company a premium each and every month to make sure that my Medigap, that anything that's not covered in my Medicare is completely filled in with all those different gaps. Now, some things to be mindful of is, and you could see this reference in your Medicare and You guide if you go and you request that at Medicare.gov, but one of the things you're going to notice is if you have something like a Plan F or a Plan G or a Plan A, whatever that is, any carrier that offers those specific types of plans, they all have to offer the same exact coverage. So if you have one doctor that accepts Medicare and you have it through a Plan F and it's with company XYZ, and now you want to go and get set up with company ABC, well, it has to give you the same exact identical coverage if they're offering a Plan F plan. Why is that important? Well, that's important, or any sort of variation of the Medicare supplement plans. The reason why that's important is because if you have company A that's charging you $100 a month, or you have company B that's charging you $200 a month, and both of them are the same quality company, why would you go with company B if company A is saving you $1,200 in the process? So that's the same concept that you have to understand. Yes, you want to go with a good quality company, a long-standing company, one that's not going to be increasing their rates or been known to increase their rates each and every year, so that you're shaving off those costs any which angle possible. One of the things that we specialize in is we deal with a lot of retirees and seniors with retirement planning. So with Medicare, we understand that this is going to be an astronomical cost each and every year, where we had to get set up with some of the best Medicare supplement plans, making sure that we could offer our clients these types of plans so they could shave dollars any which way possible, making sure that they're maximizing their income in retirement, and they're not worrying if they come into some sort of ailment, some sort of expenses that are going to be related towards their actual care, that they got locked in, they got set up properly, so that they have certainty in an uncertain world. If somebody is, yes, in their 60s and they got set up in a Medicare plan or a Medicare supplement plan, and they set it up the wrong way, and let's say now they're in their 70s and they come down with some sort of ailment, well, that could be a large mistake if you don't do this the right way the first time. Reason being is because if you go get set up with a much excuse my language crappier plan, and you only have X amount of coverage and you have a large risk above your head at all times, and then in your 70s you want to try to reapply for a plan, well, this is an Affordable Care Act. This is an Obamacare. This is something that the companies, if you do not get set up properly between the ages of 65 and 65 and a half, these companies could now discriminate, and they could be biased saying, okay, you have an ailment, you have a cancer, we're not going to insure you. You have, diabetes, whatever that case may be, but they actually go through an underwriting process with Medicare and Medicare supplement plans. So what we want to do is, if you're starting, if let's say you're 64, you're looking to get set up on Medicare supplement plans, one of the things is give us a call, 1-800-566-1002. We'll let you know what are the best plans in your area and try to help you out best way possible. Now, if unfortunately you've already made that decision at age 65 to get set up in a plan, understand that you could change your Medicare supplement plan 365 days out of the year. It's not something that you have to wait for open enrollment. That's something known as Medicare Advantage plans that you have to wait for open enrollment. With Medicare supplement plans, you could go and apply at any time that you want. The downside to it, though, is if you're deemed uninsurable through these insurance companies, well, then they're not going to take on the coverage. So let's say if right now at age 65 you're very healthy, and all of a sudden at age 70 you're still healthy, well, yes, you could go and get set up in a better plan, something that might be a Plan F that's going to save you a couple $100s a month, as opposed to the company that you're currently in that just rose their rates to an astronomical number. Now, many times an individual might be healthy at age 65, and then all of a sudden at age 67 they decide, oh, okay, I'm paying X amount for my Plan F or my Plan G, whatever the case may be. And then they want to go and get set up with a better company with a cheaper price. But if they're deemed uninsurable at age 67, well, they already lost that opportunity to originally go with that company at age 60 to 65 and a half. So you are guaranteed insurable at age in between the ages of 65 and 65 and a half. So that's what's very important, to get set up on a Medicare supplement plan, with the best carrier at that point in time. But understand, if you're a little bit older, if you already got set up on a Medicare supplement plan, you've been paying into these plans, each and every year, and you want to make a switch, as long as you're deemed insurable by the specific insurance companies in your area, and those are the ones that we're all affiliated with, so we could let you know right when speaking with you over the phone, it's worth a shot. If you could save $1,000 a year, obviously it's worth a shot to do so. So let me pull up the chart, and I'm going to show you what the Medicare gaps are, and then which sort of Medicare supplement plan somebody could offer, and then what are the differences between the most attractive plans between Plan F and Plan G, and how you could save hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. So you have all the plans listed from A, B, it's about 10 different plans, A, B, C, D, F, G, K, L, M, and N. So if you did not get set up in a plan, you have Part A deductible. So this is the hospital deductible. The regular Medicare for 2016 is $1,288 a year. So let's say you don't never want to get set up in a Medicare plan, and you say, okay, I'm just going to roll the dice, take the risk. Well, you could be paying $1,288 just in your deductible, your Part A deductible. Now, you also have skilled nursing co-insurance days 21 through 100. It could cost you up to $161 per day. And then also you have something known as Part B deductible for 2016 is $166. Now, please be mindful of this Part B deductible for 2016 is $166, because this is ways on how you could shave your premium each and every month depending upon which plan is going to benefit you the most. Now, this little asterisk over here will let you know that Plan F is going to be the most comprehensive plan, meaning that everything is completely covered. And that's going to be the most common type of plan that someone will get into, because what they understand is if they're paying for Medicare Part B and then they're paying for Plan F, which is a Medicare supplement plan, they could go to the doctors, they could go to their hospitals, and the doctor's offices are billing the Medicare supplement plan and Medicare all at the same time behind the scenes. So it's just very, very simple depending upon which carrier you go through. So many people, they go and they choose Plan F because they said, I just want to have something that's completely covered. It's the Cadillac plan. This is everything. It looks fantastic. I'm paying my monthly premium, not a problem. Now, the problem with this, though, is each and every year that you get older, the companies can adjust these premiums, these monthly premiums. So if you have Plan F or you have something known as Plan G, well, they cover the same exact things, except for Plan F has a Part B deductible. Well, as I mentioned over here, the Part B for 2016 is $166 a year. So in theory, let's say if you have Plan F, which you're paying $200 a month for, but Plan G you're paying $100 a month for, well, you're saving $1,200 by going with Plan G, and the most that you're ever going to spend more than Plan F is $166. So essentially, you're saving $1,000 each and every year to pay 166. So I hope that that makes sense, that resonates with you. If you go with a Plan G as opposed to Plan F, as long as they're offered in your specific area, you get set up with a Plan G, it gives you the same exact identical coverage. The only difference is you'd have to pay a deductible of $166 a year with Plan G. But if you're saving $1,200 to pay $166, that means you have a total savings of $1,000 or over $1,000 in a year in that hypothetical example. So, understand that all these different plans are offered through different insurance companies. The most important aspect is seeing if you're looking for a Plan F, you're looking for a Plan G, any of these other plans, you want to go with the best quality company at the cheapest possible price. One of the things mentioned in the Medicare and You guide for 2016, and I'll pull it up right over here. You could go on Medicare.gov and basically get this all this information. But what it's going to do is have a very important page. And if we go all the way to page 100, we're going to see how do I compare Medigap policies. Different insurance companies may charge different premiums for the same exact policy. So I'm going to talk about it specifically in your Medicare.gov, the Medicare and You guide for 2016, as opposed to all the other years as well. Now, when we go down a little bit, you're going to see that same benefits chart that I pulled up before, and you're going to see that the only difference between Plan F and Plan G is just going to be that Part B deductible, which happens to be $166 for the year of 2016. So as we pull up the different bullet points that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, so we understand Medicare supplement plans, also known as Medigap plans, help fill in the gaps that Medicare does not provide. The differences between Plan F and Plan G, you could get set up with a Plan G plan. Let's say if Plan F is costing you, $200 a month, but Plan G is costing you $100 a month, well, you understand that that would be a total savings of $1,200 a year. If you minus out that $166 deductible, then that comes out to $1,034 in a given year. In that hypothetical example, each and every year that you'd be able to place those extra dollars in your pocket. You could equate that to going on a trip every year, visiting your grandkids, going on fishing trips, whatever that case may be, whatever you see as your ideal retirement, that's where you want to save the dollars the most way possible. Also with Plan F is on average it increases about 9% per year. Plan G increases about 3% per year. So you also want to get set up with companies that aren't trying to lock you into a plan at age 65, and then right when you turn age 66, 67, that's when you're going to jack up your rates to be like, okay, now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place of, maybe you might be deemed uninsurable at that point in time where you have to stick with that plan and deal with all those very expensive rate increases year by year. The very last bullet point, which is probably the most important one, is the difference between independent agency or a captive agent. What happens is with the Fosse Financial Group, we are an independent agency, meaning that we have the power to represent any company out there, all the top companies in your specific area for Medicare supplement plans. What that means is we're going to be non-biased towards which company is going to give you the highest quality at the cheapest price, meaning the highest quality company at the cheapest price. So if we have company ABC that's going to offer you a plan for $100 a month, and it's a good company, or we have XYZ that's going to give you a plan for $150 a month, well, obviously we're going to recommend company ABC over company XYZ to give you that extra savings. One of the other differences, so if you call up a company directly, well, you're going to be dealing with a captive agent. Let's say you make that mistake, you call up company XYZ, and they're going to tell you about this great plan with the price of $150. Well, you get the same exact identical plan shown on page 100, the Medicare and You guide, the same exact coverage, just different premium, for a much more cost-effective route. In this case, you'd be saving in this example $600 a year. So each and every year, let's say if a company increases their rates, like I mentioned over here, Plan G on average increases their rates about 3% across the board. Plan F increases their rates about 9% across the board. Well, we also want to make sure that you have that leverage to go into a different company, a different plan, if the companies start increasing their rates astronomically. So let's say the next year in 2 years, your rates start ticking up. Well, rather than having to deal with that one company of XYZ that keeps increasing their premium. Well, now maybe we could go with company, LMN. Just basically use any sort of example possible. Obviously, some of these carriers might be, like a Transamerica. They might be a Blue Cross Blue Shield. It might be a United Healthcare. The point that I'm trying to make is with an independent agency such as ours, we're able to go and offer the best possible plan, the best quality company at the cheapest possible price, and we're able to reshop that out every single year, making sure that you have good customer service in the back end. At any point in time that you found value in this video, first off, I want to thank you for watching this video, and feel free to give our 1-800 number a call. It's 1-800-566-1002. We offer 24/7 customer service, meaning that you give us a call mornings, nights, weekends, during vacation days, whatever the case may be, and we'll make sure that there's a specialist standing by to help you out, to help either quote you out or explain, how these plans work. We are A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. We've always had very good reviews. We've never had any complaints. And it's because of this methodical process to always put the client first and make sure that we're matching up everything like a perfect puzzle piece. If you found value in this video, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Retire Sharp, so you have access to the most updated videos. Thanks so much, guys.